ICCU, to make a difference, it takes just one connection. A friendly face, an open ear, a helping hand. And then something amazing happens. We find out that we're better together. This is what Idaho Central does in our communities every day. We help our members with the small things and big dreams. This is what believing in you is all about. Idaho Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance.
It may have been a new job or starting a new business. Maybe you were looking for a better place to raise a family. It's possible you were returning home to the place you love, to Idaho. Whatever your reason for coming, 40 years or 4 months ago, Lithia Ford of Boise wants you to know you're welcome here. Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Good evening, Boise State fans. Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. We're not live from Logan, Utah. BJ will be there. He's en route, and he'll be at the game. But I'm Colin Mitchell. I'm in downtown Phoenix right now, but we're going to get that pregame show out to you. We'll always have the coverage no matter what. Brought to you by the Lithia Ford of Boise, as well as ICCU, which is Idaho Central Credit Union, and then Row Paint Paint and Coatings. And we got a big one tonight. Boise State's riding a 10-game win streak. Utah State struggling a little bit, but we'll look into it a little bit in a second. But really, Utah State's a really good team, and even though they're struggling, they've beaten some good teams this year. They beat Oklahoma, and they're a tough. It's a tough place to play in Logan. The Glen Smith Spectrum is a very tough spot, and although Boise State's riding that 10-game win streak, they are an underdog against Utah State. When I looked earlier, it was shifting around 1.5, 2 points, and it's pretty crazy to think that a team that's 10-8 would get that kind of love. But that's just how it is with Utah State, because they are a very reputable basketball program, and it shows that it's really not going to be an easy fight for the Broncos tonight. And Boise State starts this treacherous trek of just 4 straight games against Ken Palm teams ranked 65th or higher. As of that was before the game, so I just checked, and everyone was still above 65. I think Utah State was 65 even. And you got Utah State. You travel to San Diego State on Saturday, and then it doesn't get much easier when you're hosting Wyoming, but they've been a very good team this year. And then you get to go travel. You get the reward of traveling to Fresno to play Fresno State next Friday before having about a week off. And I think the next opponent after that is San Jose State. So you get one of those breather games, and you never want to treat any opponent as you never want to belittle an opponent. But when you get those easier games, it's nice. And leave your comments in. Let us know where you're watching from, and yeah, let us know your predictions for the game, and make sure I'm sounding okay. Give me something. And I saw our Twitter feeds were not working, so Facebook and YouTube are live for this pregame show. We'll try to get Twitter fixed for that post-game show, but unfortunately right now it is not working. And this game is a makeup from January 4th. If you remember, forever ago, before Boise State's COVID pause, they were scheduled to play Utah State following the Wyoming game on New Year's Day, and that had to be postponed and up until tonight. So they got 3 games in 5 days. It's not easy on the body. It's not easy traveling mentally, and yeah, I just think either way, it sucks that they do have to cram these games in, but I was really looking at the schedule, and it's tough when you think about a whole league that with the amount of cancellations that they had. It's very tough to really reschedule it, and you kind of just got to bang it out when you can. And I think every fan that's a Bronco fan wants to see Boise State win tonight and every other game they play. And there's 2 different narratives that can come out of this game. With with a win, you go to San Diego State on Saturday, kind of somewhat playing with house money because San Diego State's, they're coming off their COVID pause. You got a lot of things going for you. At that point, if you win, you're at 11 straight, looking to make it 12, heading back home against, and what would be a huge game against Wyoming. And really playing with house money and a chance to just gain a grasp in this conference, starting out 6-0 if you win the next two games. And on the other hand, you lose tonight, it becomes a real slippery slope, and it's tough because if you lose tonight, then you go to San Diego State with a lot more pressure than you would have, and you instead of potentially starting 5-1 or 6-0, you're potentially at 4-2 with 2 games remaining against 2 really talented opponents. And let's hear from Leon Rice to hear what he had to say about heading into Utah State.
They do, no doubt. And that's the crazy thing about this league. You're just out of the frying pan into the fire. And until you've gone down there and seen it, and that's why I'm excited that Cody's going with us and gets to see it firsthand, because it is unique. And I remember my first years in this league, we went down there, and it was in the WAC, my first year in the WAC. And we had a good team. We finished second, they finished first. And I think they scored on 12 of their first possessions, and we were playing good. And I look up and we're down 15 and we're playing good. And it was just crazy in there. And I remember calling my buddies like, oh my gosh, don't ever schedule them at their place. Like, it's and that's this league. It's, and then we go, to on and on and on to these. That's why road wins are so hard to get, because the environment's so tough. And but I've got a mature group that we embrace that, and that's how we prepare for it. We enjoy it. That's those are the memories you're going to look back on, is those great environments that you play in, and finding a way to get it done in those environments is special. No give and take this year. The league is just in their imminence is making those decisions, and and we have to just have that mentality of so what, now what. We just have to. That's the only, control what you can control. We had no control where when it was scheduled. It's the next one on our schedule, and it's the next task at hand, and we got our blinders on, and we're figuring out a way that we can prepare tomorrow with a team that played really hard tonight with 7 guys. And so it's, big mental day. We got to activate our minds, and that's going to be huge tomorrow. They're a really cerebral team, really smart the way they play together. They play really hard, share the ball well, and then they can really get it going from 3. They're Justin Bean's one of the best players in the league. Just love watching him, except for when he plays against us. And then, they brought in some other guys that have been really valuable, and they're we're going to have our hands full. We know that.
And now we welcome BJ Rains live from Logan, Utah. BJ, you're there.
Hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
What's going on? I'll try to get some warm-ups going. I can turn the camera here. Boise State is warming up on the court behind me. I just flew down. What a last couple hours. I'm not going to try to explain what that was, but a huge couple hours for Boise State. Big game ahead. You can see Boise State warming up on the court behind us. I'll try to get some clips going here shortly. Boise State's going with the all-black uniforms. They wore the black uniforms against Air Force in the last home game, so you can see Boise State warming up, and it's kind of a huge game, Colin, because we talked. I know, I'm sure you talked about it, but you don't want to lose this game and all of a sudden have to go to San Diego State. Then you have Wyoming, and next week you have Fresno State. I mean, this is a big game for Boise State. You do not want to have to lose this game and all of a sudden go into Saturday thinking, oh, we got to win Saturday's game. So huge game for Boise State. I'm looking at the officiating crew right now. Not a very experienced officiating crew, so I don't know what that means, but might be a bad thing. We'll see. But if I don't know any of the names of the 3 officials, that's not a great thing. I'll just say that. So I did fly down on a private plane. I was not allowed to say whose plane it was, but did just fly down, literally came straight in, and I'm here and I'm ready to go. And we got Jordan, we got Rachel, we got the whole crew here tonight. Come on, Rachel, there's Rachel. We're good to go. So it should be fun tonight. You can Idaho Statesman, Idaho Press. You can read all the coverage, and I'll tell you what, man. The D. Glen Smith Spectrum is certainly a unique venue to come to, Colin, because it's ugly. The seats are like, it looks like fall colors. I don't know. It's a weird venue to be in. So we got 19 minutes till tip off. It's a huge game for Boise State, and I know you've talked about it, but Colin, you lose this one, all of a sudden you're having a huge game against San Diego State on Saturday. So huge game for Boise State. Excited to be here, and I'm appreciative for you, man. Really appreciate it. And we got some comments here. We got a comment, Rachel. We got hi, Rachel. I don't know who Karen Rains is, but we got all kinds of comments coming in. Dayton Robinson, high roller. I did just happen to fly down. Colin, it never happens, right? So the one time I fly on a private jet, like, that's okay to admit it, right? Like, is that bad ball, or can I admit I flew on a private jet?
I think it's kind of one of those things where if you get accepted into Harvard, you let people know. If you fly in a private jet, you let people know, and that's just what it is. But you talk about this game being, I mentioned it earlier, it's either you're 4-0 now, if you lose this game, you're 4-1 with potential to go 4-2 on Saturday. But if you win this game and go 5-0, you don't want to lose a game, but you have potential, like, you're allowed to lose that game in San Diego without having that giant magnitude and pressure on you for hosting Wyoming. Jake Forsyth asked what channel's the game on tonight. It was going to be on CBS Sports Network before the postponement. That is not the case now. It's on Mountain West Network. They weren't able to get a television spot. Air Force and UNLV are on that time slot tonight, and that was just predetermined. So it was definitely tough to hear that, but it is what it is. There's different. The new Mountain West app is very helpful, and also there's different streams on the website that you can click, and it's pretty easy. You click it, and then you click play, and you're right there. And let's look at Utah State. So, I said earlier, struggling team, but a lot more potential than the record states. They're 10-8. Typically, anytime you see a team with 8 losses, they're not going to be top 65 in Ken Palm. However, especially with a Mountain West team. However, that is the case. And with wins or very close losses against Richmond, Oklahoma, St. Mary's, Colorado State, Wyoming, having a 30-point victory over New Mexico State, who is really looking to become in charge, really, of the WAC conference, really battling with GCU. And Utah State, maybe BJ can help me out here, but Brock Miller was questionable going into the game. He's the man with the headband, the sharpshooter, and it's still up in the air whether we'll see him tonight. He's missed the last couple of games, and it's been tough for Utah State, and that's where they've struggled, having that extra shooter. But however, they do have Justin Bean still, averaging 19 points per game, 35 minutes on the floor a game, and we've seen with the Broncos defense, they can handle teams that have that star. Like you saw it with Orlando Robinson. If you can let those players score, it's more so containing it's one or the other. You either contain the scorer or you contain everyone else around the scorer, and you kind of hang in there and let the offense do the work. But I think it would be fair to say that 1-4 Utah State's at their low point, and that's pretty scary because this team has loads of talent, and they're looking to play spoiler on Boise State.
No doubt about it, Colin. And you look at the atmosphere here. The crowd is starting to file in. You can see on the camera here as I've got it going now. The officials are blocking my view, but no, it's going to be a fun atmosphere tonight. Fun game, and Utah State's lost a couple, as you said, and no doubt about it. It's a big game for Boise State, and certainly a game that's winnable for them. And but Utah State, this is the D. Glen Smith Spectrum, one of the toughest places to play in the Mountain West, so certainly going to be tough. And, you just think about Boise State, the 10-game winning streak that they're on, and everything's great. But the next 48 hours playing here, chartering to San Diego, playing at San Diego State in a couple of nights. So it's a tough spot for Boise State. And honestly, if you're Boise State, you want to win tonight. You want to go 1-1 on the road trip. If you go 1-1, you're fine. But if you win tonight, you're playing with house money, right, Colin, on Saturday in San Diego. So from my perspective, you want to win tonight. and then worry about Saturday on Saturday. So, yeah, excited to be here. It was a close call, Colin. I appreciate you for getting us going here and getting us started. And literally came from a private jet straight here. I mean, like how many guys get a chance to say that? I literally flew in a private jet down to this game and flew straight here and walked in. There was a car waiting for us, and we came straight here for the pregame show. So I know Dayton is saying high roller here. I'm not really a high roller, but like I do feel like one because not very often do you get to fly on a private jet. And the booster that flew us down here did not want his name said. So, but yes, flew here and get a chance to fly back right after the game. So big game for Boise State. You can see the crowd filing in. We're about 13 minutes from tip-off. We got to end this soon, Colin. But no, it's should be a good game. I'm excited. Bronco Nation News is here, and let's have some fun, folks.
Yeah, let's do it, and that's gonna wrap it up right here. I think we gotta end it right before the game's about to start, about 15 minutes before tip. But it's been fun. The Lithia Ford Boise pregame show. We will be back for postgame. We'll have a story after the game, and we'll be traveling to San Diego as well. So when Boise State,
you're going, Colin. Colin is going to San Diego, so we're gonna have the full postgame show. You can see the cheerleaders right here, but we're gonna have the full postgame show. Come back postgame. Coach Rice, some players. We'll have them live. And then on Saturday, me and Colin will both be in San Diego for the pregame, postgame. Looking forward to it. So enjoy the game on the Mountain West Network, and then come back after the game. We'll have exclusive interviews as well.
And yeah, this has been the Lithia Ford Boise pregame show, brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union and Row Paint Paint and Coatings. Thank you very much.